Welcome back everybody to another F1 2016 The Mod. We are on the fantastic, one of my favourite circuits. We are on the Australian Grand Prix circuit of Melbourne, driving in Kevin Magnussen's beautiful looking Renault. Nice bright yellow there, and we're going to see what we can do off the line here. See if we can get a better start than we did in Spa in the rain. Not great. Okay, well that's going to happen every time I think, because I'm just terrible. Got the yellow walled tyres here, showing that we are on the option tyres. I'm going to just brake a little bit sort of later than everybody else would, trying to follow Perez's line there on the outside. Looks like Verline, sorry, is getting a much better view, start off the line there than I was, which was even bloody terrible because he's in a manner. But we're going to go on the inside of him now, take it down as all the cars bunch up. Grosjean getting way out of line there, a little bit of a wheel onto the grass. Massa onto the left, he's dropped back a few places as I'm coming around now onto P13. Grosjean going very, very slow out the corner there. I'm guessing he was getting stuck by whoever was up into his 11th place. Massa all over my gearbox as we brake just before the 50-metre board so we don't run into the back of Grosjean. Some smoke coming up, I don't know who that was from. That could have been because they got out onto the left-hand side there into the grass. Going much slower than everybody else again. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know whether or not it's the way I'm doing the wheel, or whether or not I need to increase the throttle sensitivity or something, because I'm all the way down to the ground but seem to be going a lot slower than everybody else is. As I was saying, that everybody is probably running on mix free at the moment. I'm going to save my my fuel and just see as I get very wrong as I decided I'm going to turn about 40 seconds later than everybody else, which was terrible. Grosjean disappearing off into the distance. Luckily Verline behind me, who's having an incredibly good race because he's overtaken Massa onto the inside of that corner. Underneath the Rolex board at 120 miles an hour, just lifting into this last corner, which is a long sweeping right-hander. Verline all over me. This is an insanely quick manner as I just close the door to make sure he doesn't come up onto me. Appreciating again how good this car looks. I've always loved the Renault, especially when it was yellow back in 2010 with Kubica, who was a fantastic driver who disappeared off into, I think it was WRC that he disappeared into, and then ended up hitting a wall or having an accident or something. Every time I've seen him in WRC, he doesn't seem to be able to finish the race because he always seems to end up in the wall, but maybe that's just what happens in rally. It's an insanely, totally different sport. If anybody is interested in it, I actually do have Dirt Rally as well. That leave a comment down below, and I'll certainly give a couple of goes on showing just how. I mean, let's be honest, if I'm shit at F1, God, can you imagine what I'm like on Dirt Rally? The answer is terrible, for that matter. Again, Grosjean just disappearing. I don't seem to be able to get the smoothness of these corners. Going to try and take it a little bit harder than I usually would. I've still got all of my fuel. I'm still running in mix 2. I don't think I've even changed up into mix 3 yet, which is good. So 12 seconds off the pace. It's good to know. Hoping Grosjean was going to get caught up or sort of stuck behind someone. Williams of Massa doesn't seem to be able to get Verline back. I don't know whether or not there's an issue there, but it certainly isn't going to be a good race for Massa. As I just lift instead of breaking into this corner, which I usually would. Again, just trying to get used to how this car performs on F1 2016. Underneath the canter spot there. Braking just quite lately and trying to catch up with Grosjean. The engineer did say something into my ear, but I've turned the volume down so I can actually hear what I'm saying. And I get it very, very wrong in that last corner. Probably should have braked as I try and just gather it back. Verline comes down. I just try and out-brake him into that last corner. A little bit of a skid there as I'm trying to pull it out, and Verline gets the much better run off it. I've got somebody else who's right behind me. I think it's Felipe Nasr. I am going to put it up into mix 3 to try and catch that position back. Or have I always been running in mix 3? Oh shit, maybe I have. Yeah, this race has gone from bad to worse here as I drop into mix. I'm probably going to have to drop down into lean then, because this might not actually finish this race if I'm not careful. So we'll try and get as much way around we can and then drop down into lean just on the slow. In fact, you know what? We're going to drop into lean on this small, slower sector as I try and catch it with Verline. I'm sure I can get this position back if I just nail these couple of corners. Definitely got the speed on the manner, you would have thought, although again I know Renault is down this year with Jolyon Palmer, the the rookie from whatever formula he came up from. Was it Formula 2? I'm not actually sure, to be perfectly honest. But Verline doing incredibly well. I don't know who he's modelled after, but it's he's very, very quick. Or am I just incredibly slow? It's a difficult question to answer. Let's be honest, we know the answer, that it's just me. As I go very, very wide onto the left-hand side, I'm still struggling to catch up with this man here. 130 miles an hour underneath the boards there. I'm going to change it back just up into standard mix 2. Hope that I can get to the end of the race now as I try and just lift into this corner again. I think I'm lifting too much. I don't need to lift that much into it. Have I got whoever is on behind me? Felipe Nasr coming up my left-hand side. He doesn't have enough space. He's going to try and just take a little sniff down the inside. I'm going to try and block the door and then move back onto the racing line just to force him out. Looks like Verline is going to get the 13th position here as somebody spun off onto the left hand side. Who does that? Looks like a Ferrari. Don't know who. I couldn't see who that was. It was either Raikkonen or Sebastian Vettel. as I try and just hold the car nicely into that final corner. Again, another terrible race for me. Probably should have done a hell of a lot better than that. But there we go, across the line, guys, for 13th place, providing NASA doesn't come sweeping up my outside, which he doesn't. Not great, I'm not going to admit, I'm not doing particularly great on these races, as NASA just levels with me there, probably giving me the finger for keeping him behind me all race as I drive incredibly slowly around this fantastic circuit. But let's have a look who didn't finish. So Jenson Button, Esteban Gutierrez and Kimi Räikkönen didn't finish, so that's some interesting ones. Jolly on Palmer, my teammate, down in 19th position, so at least we beat him. That's something to say about this race. But there we go. If you enjoyed that, guys, please subscribe, smash a like down below if you did, to let me know that I'm doing an okay job and that you enjoy these episodes. And as always, leave a comment. I'll get back to you with which driver and which track you want to see, and I shall make it happen. Until next time, guys, bye bye.